All right, everyone, I have a gavel in hand, and so the meeting of the 2020 OLLI annual meeting will come to order. Welcome to the 2020 annual meeting of the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. This has been a year like no other, and today's annual meeting is something we haven't seen before either. We are Zooming for our annual meeting. I'm Elizabeth Aversa, and I'm the president of OLLI. It is my pleasure to MC this meeting, and I will introduce the agenda so you will know what to expect. You should have received the overall agenda via email, and you should have received your ballot as well. We will go through the agenda in several segments. First, some welcomes and announcements. Next, we will hear from our Dean, Dean Halbeslaben, and our new Executive Director, Ashley Olive. Following their comments, we will have our Long Range Planning Committee Chair and COVID Response Team Task Force Chair, Philip Malone, to set the ground rules for the conduct of the meeting, our first virtual annual meeting. Following Philip's words, the annual report will be highlighted on PowerPoint, and then we will conduct our election. These slides, oh, the slides aren't turning. I think I have to share again. What's going on, ladies, in the technical department?
Okay, yeah, let's try to share it again.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. Okay.
And instead of the mouse, you can use the arrows on the keyboard. Okay.
Okay, so here's, I'm sorry, here is your agenda. And I had finished the first part, and we were at this juncture. So while we'll have our election, and then while the elected parties are getting ready to be introduced, we'll look back and recall what all we have to celebrate about OLLI. Your new officers will say hello, and then Jennifer Anderson will speak. Finally, we'll have an opportunity for participants to speak to the good of the order. Breakout rooms will be open for socializing if people want to get together after the meeting and raise a glass to another year at OLLI. Before we proceed, though, I would like to thank everyone who's helped make this crazy year successful and for making this meeting possible. First, I need to thank the staff, Jennifer, Lois, Kathy, and Ruth, for their outstanding work in pivoting us from the old OLLI to the new. They have worked tirelessly from home with all the challenges that people are having everywhere when they can't meet face to face. But as you'll see, we've accomplished a great deal in the last few months. I'd also like to thank every member of the Board of Advisors and our committee chairs. These people are well known to you, and they will be mentioned as we talk about the annual report. They have had to realign their thinking to the current times, and we've not missed a single beat since the COVID shutdown. A giant shout out is due to the COVID-19 Response Task Force. Philip Malone has led this group of leaders from Gadsden, Birmingham, and Tuscaloosa in planning for the tail end of spring, the successful and robust summer program, and our current fall offerings. Leanne Spencer and Francine Morosco were instrumental on the task force, as were David Maxwell, Kay Kelly, Beth White, Ann Prentice, Shirley DuPont, Mary John Sneckenberger, Ray Brignac, Treasurer Dot Martin, and Kathy Bohannon. Also, a special thanks to Brendel O'Rourke, who stepped in when Linda Olivet had to resign from the position of member at large, and to Linda for the time of her service, and to Buck Watley, who resigned as parliamentarian earlier this year. I'm sure I should thank others and forgive me for any oversights. We are grateful to all of you. Now, I'd like to call on the Dean of the College of Continuing Studies, He and more recently Ashley Olive have been with us throughout the year, providing resources and expertise as we've moved forward. So Dean Jonathan, would you take the mic, and I will mute myself.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. And thank you all for being here today for the annual meeting, this year's annual meeting. Slightly delayed meeting, but we're glad to have everyone all together. You know, I know we're going to talk about a lot of different things that have been accomplished this year, but as I was reflecting a little bit earlier today and thinking about it, it's been a pretty amazing year, and not just because of the COVID stuff. If you go back to sort of the start of this year, you really accomplished a ton of different things. We finally saw the OLLI trolley in person for real. We purchased it, and so that was a significant accomplishment before COVID hit. Of course, then there was the transition online, which you all did with amazing efficiency and grace and patience, and so congratulations for all of that. Of course, we had the wonderful OLLI Day celebration last month, and now you're looking at a significant revision to your bylaws. That's a lot of stuff to do in 1 year, particularly given all the circumstances. So I commend you all. We're proud to have you as part of the College of Continuing Studies, and look forward to continuing to support you through the next year. So thanks again for allowing me to say a few words, and enjoy the meeting.
Thank you, Dean. We appreciate your being with us and the continued interest you've had in all of the ups and downs of OLLI over the past few months. I greatly appreciate your interest in us. And now, if we could hear from Ms. Ashley Olive, and I think she might be able to tell us her news, actually. Ashley?
Thanks, Elizabeth. Well, I've had the privilege of working with the OLLI group since April, and it's really been delightful to watch you all go through such a change and be so innovative so quickly. Has been really impressive. Perhaps most impressive was your dedication to engaging people across the country who otherwise were not going to have the opportunity to interact with others, and I think that's so special. For those of you who don't know me, I have been working in the college for just about a year. I've been at UA for 12 years. And I have officially been named the Executive Director of Community Engagement. So that means that I'm going to have the privilege to work alongside the OLLI staff as we look at what's been done and what's coming up. For me, I can summarize everything I hope into 3 easy goals. So for me, I want to support the OLLI staff in membership growth, delivering really dynamic and innovative course content, and then providing top customer service. So those will be the things that I'll be excited to work on with the OLLI staff. They already do a great job for the next few years. And then I just wanted to reiterate what the Dean said and what Madam President Elizabeth said earlier. Thank you to all of you, whether you're a volunteer or staff. The amount of time that you put into OLLI is such a commitment, and we're very thankful for the work you do every day. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashley, and I'm sure everyone joins me in welcoming you, and we'll look forward to working with you in the future. And so now I would like to introduce Philip Malone, who will tell us how we are conducting this meeting in the Zoom format. He'll let you know how to be recognized, how the election will take place, and other rules of the road, given that we aren't in our usual place at the Bryant Conference Center. Philip?
Thank you, Elizabeth. All of you should be muted at this time, and during the course of this meeting, there'll be several speakers will be introduced. Unless you are that speaker, please stay muted until instructed otherwise by the speaker. If you are recognized by the speaker, you can unmute yourself to talk or to ask a question. But as soon as you comply, please mute yourself again. And in the interest of time, if you have any comments or questions, please put those in the chat box. For most of you, your devices will have that at the bottom of the screen. So just look for the chat box down there, and you can leave a comment or ask a question in that format. After the annual report, there will be a vote on the new officers, which will take place one office at a time. And then after the officers voting, there will be a separate vote on the proposed bylaws. The voting will take place by Zoom polling. At the appropriate time, a poll will appear on your screen. You mark your choice, and then you click select, which will be at the bottom of the little box that it's on your screen. The vote will be anonymous, but it will be tallied by the Zoom function. If you're attending the Zoom meeting by phone, the polling feature is not available to you. For those of you using the phone, you were instructed in the email announcing the annual meeting that you could contact the office 24 hours prior to this meeting today to have your vote counted. These polling instructions will be repeated at the time we start the voting. After the business meeting, there will be a social hour with breakout room for you to socialize with others, very similar to what happens before the meeting starts. So anyway, I'll turn it back over to you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Philip. And now I'm going to share with you the highlights of our annual report. Ordinarily, as you know, we would have copies on round tables in the Bryant Conference Center, along with our snacks and our glass of wine. But unfortunately, we can't do that. So now you will hear the highlights simply with bullet points. As we mentioned, this has been a year like no other, and this page highlights how OLLI has pivoted to new ways of learning, teaching, meeting, and socializing. You've heard about the task force that accomplished so much in spite of the pandemic. And so on this slide, you see some of the things we've done in highlighting the training of almost 600 people to use Zoom. I think we've done more training than any other organization. We had our free online programs in May. We have launched over 119 courses for summer and fall, all in the online format. I would like to thank, besides Philip Malone for chairing the task force that helped us to get through this transitional period, but to also thank Bob Coulson and all the people who have been involved in the Zoom training. This has been quite a godsend, and it is ongoing. The Long Range Planning Committee, chaired by Philip Malone, had their greatest accomplishment in the review and revision of the bylaws and the organizational structure for OLLI. As you know, the new organization will provide program autonomy for each of the chapters, while accomplishing administrative consistency in the overall organization within the University of Alabama. The Curriculum Committee has been chaired this year with David Maxwell and Ann Prentice. They pushed very hard to bring us into the Zoom era as soon as the pandemic hit. They identified instructors who were willing to teach online. They developed a robust set of bonuses and classes to try the new method of instructional delivery, and brought us 2 fully online terms. This was a Herculean task, and we owe all of them and that committee a huge thank you. The committees across all of the chapters were involved in this. And I think if you note on the 5th bullet here, 20 bonus programs less than 6 weeks after the university shut down. I think that might be a record. I don't hear that from many other people. OLLI does love to travel, and Peggy Hamner and the travel committee started the year off with a bang. We had local field trips, regional travel, and even a Viking River cruise. And then things came to a screeching halt. 8 planned programs had to be canceled and undone. But Peggy assures me now that the committee is conjuring up plans so as to be ready as soon as we can ease back onto the bus. Our bonus program piece was chaired by Mary John Sneckenberger, and also at the end of the year, Sandra Ray. This committee hosted many excellent bonus programs when we were resident at the conference center. We learned about shrimp farming, and we had bicentennial speakers. We heard about popular culture and sports, but these committees really jumped in feet first when we went to the Zoom format. 20 free bonus programs were offered in May. Brava to Mary John and Sandra. The membership committee and Kit Moss as chair worked with consultant Gary Creek to develop the Grow with OLLI program. New members were brought into OLLI through the campaign that focused on what members get from OLLI, not what OLLI gets by promoting memberships. Presentations and talks utilized the gardening theme, and zinnias are blooming all over the region as a result of the giveaways that accompanied speakers and teams who worked on the membership drive. Thanks to everyone for their work on Grow with OLLI. The membership committee in Birmingham was chaired by Kathy Storch. In addition to the usual public presentations and participation in community events, the Greater Birmingham membership team focused on individual contacts and recruitment of new members. Their Reach Out to 5 in 5 program had committee members reaching out to 5 members in 5 days to promote and inform them about the online training and online classes. The marketing committee in Birmingham was chaired by Glenn Morgan. This committee placed OLLI information in a wide variety of print media and particularly community newspapers. They were also very successful in getting airtime and coverage of the John Archibald program that they held in Hoover. Committee Chair Glenn Morgan and his committee are stars at getting the attention of the press in Birmingham for OLLI. Another marketing star is Amelia Yesick, who chairs the committee in Tuscaloosa. Her committee placed articles in Prime Lifestyle magazine, on Facebook, and spoke to various community groups. They also promoted OLLI on the Kip Tyner Show and on interviews on WBRC and WVUA, displays in libraries, and participation in community events, as well as billboards provided by the college, kept OLLI in the public eye. In pre-COVID times, the social committee with 3 co-chairs, Jan Farguson, Sandra Larry, and Patsy Howell, provided support, food, and decor for open houses, information sessions, and even for our murder mystery dinner theater. The committee continues to plan for upcoming events such as the book program that's scheduled for tomorrow. Social interaction surfaced online later through the work of many members for parties to celebrate May Day, Cinco de Mayo, the Kentucky Derby, and we even had a wine pairing dinner. Watch for more social opportunities in the future. The Hospitality Committee in Birmingham is the equivalent of the Social Committee in Tuscaloosa. This committee, under Diane Burrell's leadership, hosted lunch meetings at great restaurants prior to the March shutdown, and then they had to cancel events. But now this group is planning to step out again with an ice water tea at a local park as soon as they are able to have an event. Beth White reported for the Birmingham chapter. This chapter worked hard and enjoyed a real growth spurt this year. A new membership with North Shelby Library enabled them to offer 11 courses and 7 bonuses this spring after they tested the concept in the fall. They cover a broad geographical area but provide a robust curriculum around the community at multiple sites. There are more than 225 members now as a result of the push for membership and their push for program expansion. We look forward, Beth and committee, to more growth in Birmingham. The Birmingham chapter was able to travel. They went to Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville and the Peace and Justice Center in Montgomery for 2, also to Wetumpka for the Dixie Art Colony. Sadly, like other chapters did, they had to cancel many events in the spring of 2020. The Gadsden chapter, chaired by Shirley DuPont, had a notable first this year in their first instructor appreciation event. Everyone seemed to really enjoy that. The chapter maintained a membership of just under 120 on average in that area and hosted several open houses and registration events. The chapter also provided Zoom training for others in the community. Tuscaloosa and OLLI and a bicentennial committee, which was under the leadership of Sharon Shelton, worked diligently to involve OLLI in bicentennial events and to host public programs on that subject. We celebrated the college centennial, acquired the OLLI trolley, produced the entertaining first ever murder mystery dinner theater, and concluded a lengthy member survey that has helped to guide us throughout the past year. We'll visit some of these more when we celebrate OLLI in a few minutes. An important cooperative initiative grew from our offering of online classes. Because we were able to offer classes across all the OLLI chapters, we decided that there was a natural way to collaborate with other OLLIs. So OLLI Day Alabama, which was spearheaded by Francine Marasco and Leanne Spencer, brought together all the OLLIs in Alabama, resulted in a gubernatorial proclamation by Governor Kay Ivey, and an exciting new program for sharing online courses among all the OLLIs. By the way, if you missed OLLI Day, it's available online. The whole thing was recorded and you can see it online. Now, this concludes the summary of the annual report. And so now we'll turn our attention to the next part of our meeting, and that is the election of officers and consideration and vote on the revised bylaws. You have received a ballot, the bylaws, and the opportunity to attend the town hall meeting to hear about these changes. So now it is time to cast our ballots. But first, I would like to introduce Amelia Yesick, who will report for the nominating committee. Then we will call for additional nominees.
Thank you, Elizabeth. The nominating committee met and on more than one occasion, and we present to the members the ballot for 2020-2021. President Philip Malone, or a write-in candidate. VP for Long Range Planning, David Maxwell, or a write-in candidate. Tuscaloosa Member at Large, Brenda O'Rourke, or a write-in candidate. Tuscaloosa Member at Large, Carolyn Rhodes, or a write-in candidate. And then Greater Birmingham Member at Large, Kay Kelly, or a write-in candidate. And Gadsden Member at Large, William Holler, or a write-in candidate. And that is a slate of officers to be voted on at this annual meeting.
Thank you, Amelia. Now, Kay Kelly will call for nominations from the floor. Kay?
Are there any nominations for president from the floor?
If so, please put it in the chat so that we can recognize you.
I guess going once, going twice. Are there any write-in candidates for Vice President Long Range Planning? If so, if you'll go ahead and put that in the chat. Okay, Dorothy Peroni has nominated Philip Malone, and he's already nominated for president. Is that the position you were putting him in for?
Maybe she's just underlining that nomination.
Okay.
Oh, don't we have to, never mind. I don't know what I'm doing, Elizabeth.
Okay. We're just asking for if there are any additional write-in candidates now for the Tuscaloosa member at large, either one of the two Tuscaloosa members at large. Are there any write-in candidates? And then a write-in candidate for the Birmingham member at large. And then also for the Gadsden member at large. If there is, if you'll just add it to the chat.
I can't see the chat when I'm sharing this screen, so
All right.
I hope somebody is looking at the chat.
Yes,
Philip?
so far, the only person nominated is Philip Malone. So
Okay,
we're safe.
all right.
All right, if there are no further chats, I'm going to say that the slate of the open positions is as the nominating committee provided them to the members.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Amelia. You came up with a great slate. No objections from anyone. Good job. Now, I'm going to turn this over.
One just came in.
Somebody just nominated Kit Moss for one of the slates.
Tuscaloosa member at large.
For Tuscaloosa member at large, okay?
Has Kit Moss agreed to this is the first question.
Is Kit in the meeting?
Yes, she is.
She just replied in the chat. She declines, but with appreciation.
Thank you, Kit. You've done a great job as membership. And I think you're telling us you deserve a break today. But thank you for entertaining that. All right, given this, that we seem to have heard from everyone who has a write-in nomination, I'm going to turn this over to Lois Strand from our staff, who will put up the poll, and she will tell us what we're to do next. Lois? Unmute yourself.
All right, thank you. And what we'll do is put them up one at a time. Then you will, for a minute or two, and then I will close the poll and we'll see immediate results. And everybody should have your vote. So here we go. Launching poll for president. Please check one, please make your vote. This is our recording vote right here. Thank you so much, everybody. Out of 56, here we go. So far, 83% have voted.
You can't vote.
No, you can't.
But you don't need my vote.
I must say, if you're a spouse and you aren't registered for the meeting, you're really not voting. You and your wife or husband can duke it out afterwards, but we don't want to see the bloodshed while we're having an election.
All right. We're coming up on 1 minute and all right, that's been a minute. We've got 89% of people voted. So I'm going to go ahead and close the poll and I'm going to share the results. And is that what you see on the screen? Yes. All right. Philip Malone, you have been voted in by the membership as the next president of OLLI. Welcome. Yes. Let's give him a clap. Yes. All right. And stop that. So that's at 51%.
You will have an opportunity to hear from all of our newly elected officers after we do a little celebration so that they have a time to get their thoughts together in terms of what they're going to say.
Okay, next poll will be for long range plan, Vice President of Long Range Planning. We have David Maxwell as the nomination, and if you will make your vote, please.
See, I can't vote because I'm a co-host.
That's right.
Actually, I made y'all all Elizabeth. Nope, you're still co-host. That's right. But Philip and the staff can.
Yes.
We're all members.
I don't need to not be a co-host because I have to keep sharing.
That's right. Yep. All right, we're at 87%. Y'all are voting faster this time. Getting the hang of it. All right, we're coming up on a minute and yep, we'll close the poll. And David Maxwell, we welcome you as Vice President of Long Range Planning. Yay.
Yay.
Let's give him a clap. Yes, I see some reaction buttons going up there. Good job. All right. Let me record that one. And somebody got that? Okay, we'll stop that. And the next one is Tuscaloosa Member at Large, and we have Brendel O'Rourke in this position. And if you will, please place your vote. Y'all are even faster.
We'll get the hang of it by the time it's over.
There are a total of 6 positions, so this is number 3. All right, y'all really are getting faster, and that looks to be right around the same as we've done before. Okay, in this first position, I'm going to end the polling, and Brendel O'Rourke, welcome to the board. And
Yay.
there we go. All right, well, let's give her a hand clap. There we go.
Let me say something. Brendel has served really well and does a lot of things with us when she filled an unfilled position. So I'm really glad to have you on board officially. Thanks.
Okay, and the next position is the Tuscaloosa Member at Large, and that'll be Carolyn Rhodes, and we will launch that poll. Please make your vote now. What took us almost a minute, the first one y'all done 89% in 20 seconds. So y'all are getting faster. All right, so that's pretty much where we were before too. So at 89%, we'll end the poll and Carolyn Rhodes, we welcome you on the OLLI board as a Tuscaloosa Member at Large. And sharing the results there.
Someone voted for the unnamed nomination from the floor, I guess just to see what would happen.
That or could have used the mouse and clicked the wrong button, but since there was no nomination from the floor, we'll call that 100% there. Okay, and stopping sharing the results of that one. And the next position we have is the Greater Birmingham Member at Large. Kay Kelly is in that nomination position. So we will go ahead and launch the poll now. Please place your vote.
Wow.
All right, and once again, we'll close the polling. And Kay Kelly, we welcome you to the OLLI board for this coming year as the Greater Birmingham Member at Large. Thank you. Let's give her a clap for those of y'all that know how to do that. Excellent. And or the hand clap like Philip was doing, that works too. And now we have Gadsden Member at Large, and Bill Howler is the nomination there. Let's launch that poll. Please take a moment and go ahead and vote for Gadsden Member at Large. we will end the poll, and we welcome Bill Hallard from Gadsden as the Gadsden Member at Large. Bill, there you go. Thank you so much. Let's stop that one. And next is the bylaws. We ready to go on to that?
Yes, I thought I thought we would have see if David Maxwell or Kay Kelly had anything to say with regard to the bylaws. These two members worked night and day to get this in shape for your consideration. We think it's a good plan, and the board endorses it, has approved it, and we hope the membership will give it careful consideration. Kay, you or David want to say anything about this? You know, I can't move a slide.
Okay, I can share some. Just to recap, these bylaw proposals are the culmination of 2 years of work, really long-range planning, and has been shared with all interested members, culminating at the town hall meeting on August the 27th. Again, the primary revisions were the establishment now of advisory councils for each of the 3 current chapters, Tuscaloosa, Gadsden, and Greater Birmingham, in order to foster more local control and participation. And then now an executive council derived from the leadership of these advisory councils to be the governmental authority for overall management of OLLI at UA. Other revisions include establishing a quorum of 10% of membership for each of the annual meetings and establishing the membership year as August 1st to July 31st.
Okay. Kay, did you want to say something?
The only other change that we made was to allow for electronic or virtual meetings. We're able to have this meeting because of one of the governor's Safer at Home acts said that entities could start having virtual meetings, and it seems to be a very good idea for even when the pandemic is over to be able to have it as an option for people who can't travel to meetings. So that's one of the things, is to allow the virtual meetings for virtual quorums and virtual votes.
Okay. So with that, and thank you all so much, you and the Long Range Planning Committee. This has been a year in the making. Lois, would you put up the poll?
Okay, just the one question. If you will, go ahead and place your vote. All right. We've hit 89%. That's the highest we've been so far. I'll go ahead and end polling and share the results.
Lois, do you know how many people that is?
50.
Okay, good.
All right, Lois. So it appears, Lois, we're correct that the bylaws change has passed by 100% of the people who voted. Thank you so much for that, everyone. Okay, thank you, Lois, for putting this together. Okay, so now while we wait for everything to be finalized so that our new officers can speak, we want to celebrate OLLI. You know, I have to share again. I'm sorry. This, every time somebody does something, we just learned, we have to share.
We're seeing it on the screen. Oh, there you go.
Okay, there we go. So, well, we have a lot to celebrate, so I'll move quickly through some blasts from the past of the last year. I'm not being able to move these slides, y'all. Ah, okay. Sorry about that. So just a little over a year ago, we welcomed our dean. We did the Grow with OLLI, and we raised some funds for the OLLI Trolley. We thought it looked like kind of a normal year. We'd do a few projects, have a few activities, and everything would be just great. One thing that didn't change is that at OLLI, we like to eat. The shape of the table doesn't matter at OLLI, and here are some of our events at which people enjoyed fine dining and casual dining and raised a glass. Supper clubs, lunch bunches, special events. There's always food at OLLI. And I have to say, I believe we would have had 300 members at this meeting if we'd been serving something, but too bad that we couldn't. We traveled back when we could, and wherever we go, we have fun and we learn. Local, regional, out of state, even international, OLLI travels. Here we are on the bus with OLLI, and we have our travel chair there, Peggy Hamner at the back, some familiar faces on the bus, all smiles. We seem to be having a good time, and everybody's cool on the bus. On the other hand, here we are not so happy on the side of the road when the bus broke down. But we're waiting for a replacement, and I'm sure when it arrived, everybody was happy. You'll remember the movie Jaws. Well, in Mobile, we needed a bigger boat. And here are some additional travel memories. At the Biltmore, Costa Rica, again in Mobile, wonderful OLLI travel memories, and we will be on the road again. We had the first annual Murder Mystery Dinner Theater by Sharon LeCoutre, was the producer of this highlight of the year, and we learned that our OLLI members have a lot of theatrical talent, and here are just a few of our members at the show back in November of 2019. The purpose of the OLLI Trolley was to see to it that anybody with any kind of disabling condition, whether they were permanent or temporary, wouldn't ever have to meet a class at the Bryant Conference Center. A committee chaired by Francine Morosco planned the fundraising and made it happen. And here we are in May 19, when the trolley was just a gleam in our eye, and that was a cardboard cutout with Richard Rohn and a few other folks on board. Thanks to the generosity of OLLI members and friends, the OLLI trolley meter hit the jackpot, and the trolley became a reality rather than a cardboard model. And here we are just in time for the holidays. Donna Bowles, Jennifer Anderson, and I enjoyed the parade with our driver, chauffeur, Philip Malone. And we were all decorated by the social committee and ready for the holidays. Of course, what we're famous for is our classes, and here we are before the March pandemic closure of the university facilities. And here's what our classes look like now. Here's a shot from our first full 6-week course on security taught by Ted Sexton. It drew over 50 people and was an enormous success. First time out. Here's a Zoom room with OLLI students on the side of the slide, and some jellyfish and Peggy Hamner from one of our very first bonuses online. And here is the catalog for fall 2020 with our courses upcoming. By the way, you can still get a catalog and you can still register for courses if you haven't done so. And you can also invite your friends, colleagues, and neighbors to join us. It's not too late to register. We are safely socializing. A virtual happy hour with a few parties took place on May 1st. And then later we had a wine pairing dinner, and we're keeping ourselves safe, but we continue to build and maintain those all-important social networks that we talk about at OLLI. Of course, OLLI Day was the most recent giant hit that we had. It drew us into a consortium with OLLIs at UAH and at Auburn University, and you see some of the publicizing of that event that went on in terms of interviews. There's Amelia on the Kip Tyner show, and we had other, Leanne Spencer on 95.3 The Bear, and lots of publicity around OLLI Day. And here we have the governor at OLLI Day. She tells us that she may join OLLI when she retires. And on the right, you see Leanne Spencer, the MC for the day, who did a great job of that. The proclamation from the governor was a highlight, as were visits from Mr. Bernard Osher, 93 years old, and from Mary Bitterman, a representative from the Osher Foundation. All came in to our meeting. Every time we do something at OLLI, something else comes along and follows it. And usually one good thing leads to another. Through OLLI Shares, we'll be sharing 3 courses with the other 2 OLLIs in the state, thus expanding each OLLI's course offerings by 6. You can enjoy new instructors, make new friends statewide, and enjoy a new collaborative experience when you register for a course through OLLI Shares. We end this celebration with a few more memories and certainty of more fun and more learning to come. With this now, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Philip Malone. I have my handy gavel here. Philip is our new president. And so Philip, I am handing a virtual gavel to you. Please accept this gavel and take over the meeting. I think Philip has a ball-peen hammer, but go ahead.
I didn't unmute myself. I was just saying thank you for the gavel, although mine didn't quite match yours. Okay. I was asked to introduce myself to the OLLI members, and so that's going to be my, actually I'm going to do something before that. I'm going to have my first order of business to thank Elizabeth. Elizabeth, that was a great presentation you put together, and I don't know if y'all know this, but Elizabeth really did pretty much everything that you just saw. She put a lot of work into this annual meeting, and I want to be sure and thank her. I also want to thank her for all the work she's done for OLLI through this difficult pandemic time. And even before that, she gave a lot of leadership before the pandemic. As you saw through some of the slides that she showed just in this last year, but she's actually been with us for 2.5 years. Normally it would be 2 years, but because of the pandemic and because of having to put this vote off until today, she agreed to stay on all the way through the summer and extended her commitment through the summer. So she's been with us in her role for 2.5 years. And she assured me that she's going to continue to help me with some of the issues as I go forward. Elizabeth has some great skills that I don't have, and she said I can lean on her a little bit for some of those skills, so I intend to do that. I want to, so I would like to tell you to be sure that you let Elizabeth know how much you appreciated her services. You can do that through the chat box now, or you can do it through other venues when you see her or talk to her later. Hopefully someday you will all be back face to face, and when you see her in the hallways or somewhere at OLLI, be sure to let her know how much we appreciate all of her efforts, because she has put in a tremendous amount of time and effort into OLLI for the last 2.5 years. And even before that, she was on the Long Range Planning Committee. So her tenure has even extends back before that. We thank you, Elizabeth, and we really appreciate such a fine job that you've done for us.
Thank you, Philip. And I'll just say, with such a great group of officers, leadership, and members, it isn't that difficult. So you'll have a great time. And I think years from now, I'll look back and say, hey, wasn't that fun? So thank you very much.
And I'd like to say I'm also looking forward to working with Dean Habelslavin and Ashley Ollie, the Executive Director, the new Executive Director of Community Engagement. Our OLLI staff, who've just been outstanding during all of this. They've always been outstanding, but during this special times, they've really put in a lot of extra work, and I really looking forward to working with them. Also, that's Jennifer, Lois, Kathy, and Ruth, and they've all done a great job, like I say, especially during this pandemic. I'm also look forward to working with the new slate of officers and the members of the advisory council. And although we've had many challenges, we have many challenges in the future, but we have many more opportunities in front of us. And it's our duty to meet those challenges and to recognize the opportunities. And I hope that's the spirit they will all take with us into this next OLLI year. I look forward to seeing you in class. I was asked to introduce myself, so I will do that at this time. And then I'm going to ask the other members who've been elected to introduce themselves. Most of you know me, at least in some capacity. I've been with OLLI at UA since my retirement in 2014. I was retired early, and most of you have heard the story that I've shared about that and how it led to me finding OLLI. I've been immersed in OLLI as an avid learner first, and then I added speaker and instructor and field trip leader to that enjoyment. My professional background is as a geologist. I have a BS from geology in the University of Alabama, but I'm also passionate about travel and photography, and I've thoroughly enjoyed sharing my experiences in those fields with the OLLI family. And I use the word family because when I was retired early, I lost my family at work, but I've found an even bigger family here at OLLI. Then I became involved in the curriculum committee and was able to convince others to find enjoyment in sharing their passions with OLLI. And I was enjoying the process so much that I allowed Richard and Francine to convince me to become even more involved, which has led to today. I'm still just as committed as ever to learning and teaching at OLLI. I usually take between 6 and 12 classes each semester, and I'm taking 12 classes this fall, and I'm leading 2 others. And so with that, I'd like to introduce David Maxwell. David, would you say a few words and introduce yourself?
All right, thanks, Philip. I retired from the University of Alabama in 2014, where I'd been there 25 years as a physician at the Student Health Center. And since my own 4 children are 4th generation graduates at the University of Alabama, OLLI gave me an opportunity to continue with the University of Alabama. And I really enjoyed it. I began in January of 2015 and became quite addicted, taking 12 or 14 classes a week myself. And then I was tabbed by Philip, as he mentioned, to join the curriculum committee, and ultimately followed in his footsteps there as the chairman. Worked with him on the task force this summer, and now I'm filling his shoes as long-range planning. So I think we see a trend here. But he's been a great friend and a mentor, and OLLI's been a great deal to me in my retirement as well. And I'm looking forward to continuing on the path. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, David. And at this time, we'll hear from Brenda O'Rourke. Brenda, would you say a few words?
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. First, I want to say thank you all, the ones who voted for me. Thank you for those votes of confidence. And I wanted to let you know that I'm committed to and looking forward to meeting with the rest of the people that I have not already met. I'm excited about meeting other people. I am a native of Tuscaloosa, grew up here, went to school here. I actually worked at the University of Alabama many years ago in the College of Arts and Sciences before I moved to federal government. I retired from the Department of Veterans Affairs after 34 years there as an information technology specialist. That was during the last half of my years there. I joined OLLI about 2.5 years ago and haven't looked back. I wanted to do something different and other than IT, and I found it with OLLI because there's so many things to do and so many areas of interesting things to do that I just couldn't wait. So I joined OLLI and I came on to the membership committee just as the Grow with OLLI project was kicking off. So kind of got my feet wet in that. And then as someone said earlier, in the last 6 or 7 months, I filled in on the advisory board as a member at large. And so I've gotten a chance to do some recruiting and trying to recruit new members to OLLI. But as I said, I'm excited to continue on, officially on the board now, and looking forward to finding where else I can be helpful and to meeting other people. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda, and we look forward to working with you also. Also, another member at large, Callan Rhodes, would you unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, hello, everyone. I'm not sure where to begin, but I will start with the fact that I have been learning with OLLI for the last about 8 years. And I've also been teaching an arthritis exercise class, and quite a few of you know me from that class. Hopefully you're feeling a lot better. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you about? I'm also an author. And how did I get to be an author? I honestly think I have to thank OLLI for some of the classes that I took. One was a publishing class, and that class taught me everything about why I should or shouldn't write a book. And I had so many cheerleaders coming in to advise me to write that book, that I could do it, I could finish it. I did just that. And all of my new OLLI friends have been behind me in that book. They have bought my book, they have celebrated me, and given me a lot of confidence that I think I would have ever had to have completed doing that. So I've been in Alabama for about 25 years. I came here from New York City. There's a lot of information about me on the Alabama Writers Cooperative website. You can read about how I got here because everyone always asks me that question. I think what I really wanted to tell you more about is all of the work that I've done with the arthritis class. And I'm hoping to teach it again very soon in the spring. And I love being a part of OLLI and hope to get to know all of you and work with some of you, and hopefully you'll get to know me better rather than me right now going in circles because I'm just all over the place. But anyway, I'm glad to be here and hope to be serving well. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you, Carolyn. And again, we look forward to working with you on the advisory council. Next up, from Greater Birmingham, member at large, Kay Kelly, who has, you've already met some today. She has worked so hard on the bylaws, and the great thing about the Zoom has been for me is to meet people from these other chapters. And although Kay and I have only met through Zoom, I feel like we're old friends. So we've spent so much time together on Zoom. So Kay, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I was transferred to Birmingham 38 years ago, and so I guess I'm not a native, but in any event, I haven't chosen which of the local football teams I support because I just refuse to do that. But I've been a member of OLLI for just under 2 years, and I joined because I wanted to do a bird watching field trip to the Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge. And before I got off of that bus, I was on the field trip committee. And then within 9 months, I was chair of the field trip. And then I worked to get some classes started at the North Shelby Library. And then I started learning Zoom. And that's kind of been my OLLI story. It's just, if somebody finds out you're interested in something, all of a sudden, there you are. You know, you get an email and you're told that there's a meeting, and it's just, oh dear, how did this person figure out I had any of those skills? But anyway, that seems to be how OLLI works. And I've enjoyed all of it so far, and especially the Zooming, because it is nice to learn, to meet the people from the other OLLI chapters. I just think the Zoom is fantastic. I love not having to get dressed and drive to the classes. It just seems to me to be perfect. And I don't quite understand the people that keep saying, no, I want to get up at 2 hours early and get dressed to go sit in a terribly uncomfortable chair with no bathroom close by and no free drinks close by. But anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. But hopefully we'll get back to normal and life will go on and OLLI will just grow even more.
Thank you, Kay. I believe that concludes that part of it. Bill, even though he was elected, I don't believe he's here to speak today. I didn't see him. So we'll move on to the next part of the agenda, which is, can you move the slides or not, Elizabeth?
I'm having trouble with it, but let me start to share again. It just seems to.
Okay. Well, anyway,
let me say something while I find these slides,
okay.
Philip, that I forgot to do. I understand now that Robin, who is the graphic artist who put the bells and whistles on these slides and installed all the photographs and so forth, is with us. Robin, thank you very much for your help with this. And the other person that I did not mention who should have been on my list is Bob Kohler. Bob has chaired the Birmingham, Greater Birmingham OLLI for a long time, and he's done a fabulous job. He's always attentive, always asking us, you know, keeping track of what's going on throughout OLLI. So Bob, thank you, and I'm sorry that I didn't mention you at the very beginning. I will try to share this yet again so you get your last slide.
Okay.
This is definitely a weird situation.
Oh.
Because you have a few more agenda items.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're getting close to running over an hour here, so I want to sort of wrap up things here. First, we'll hear from Jennifer Anderson, who has just worked tirelessly through all of this, all of the things that's going on. It's amazing. It's amazing how many emails get sent very, very late at night or early in the morning. And we hear from people, so we know people are putting in a lot of extra effort during this time. So Jennifer, we'd like to hear from you now for the director's report.
Thank you, Philip. I appreciate that, and I hope I don't take too long, but I am so honored. I have been the director of this OLLI for 14 years, and I'm excited about our 15th year, which sounds like we need to have some type of celebration, right? But you heard the highlights.
of the year from our president, Elizabeth Aversa. And in line with the university's mission, we fulfill that in 3 different ways: teaching, research, and service. And so I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about that, on how we were able to accomplish that. And through teaching, as you heard earlier, we have offered diverse programming to not only our members, but the community. And with the online offerings, anyone, regardless of location, can participate. Our growing and diverse partnerships with the Alabama Securities Commission, Area Agency on Aging, local governments, corporations like Alabama Power, other groups such as Master Gardeners, the National Humanities Center Book Club, have strengthened our reach and our knowledge. One of our most exciting partnerships that continues to grow is with the University of Alabama Graduate School. It is truly a win-win situation for OLLI and the students. OLLI gives graduate students the opportunity to gain experience teaching in their field of study, and what better experience than with a group of truly interested individuals. And OLLI in turn has another pool of diverse group of instructors with varied fields of study. So, you know, we definitely fit that part of the mission of the University of Alabama. Next is research. The OLLI program has been able to be a resource for graduate and postgraduate students working on research projects. Our OLLI members have made themselves available before, during, and even after the research process. We are grateful to be part of the research component. Matter of fact, you should be receiving information in the next few days about a research project designed by the University of Alabama research team on COVID-19 and how it has influenced your eating habits. I don't personally want to be part of that because I have not had very good eating habits with COVID-19. But this is also a way that our members are giving back to society. And then that moves us to service, which we know we do that every day. OLLI has been a service to the community through offering lifelong learning by presenting public lectures and events. This year, more than ever, the program was able to be a service of not only education, but of engagement of others. You heard the numbers earlier that over 500 individuals learned to use Zoom through OLLI. That education and connection will open doors for those individuals in their communities, whether that includes working with their grandchildren and helping with their online homework, participating with their study groups, or watching a lecture from the Smithsonian Museum. OLLI's lifeline for people has now grown stronger. So through this past year, you, as volunteers and members, have been an outstanding representative of the University of Alabama. And I sincerely appreciate the service of the board members whose terms have expired, especially Elizabeth Aversa's leadership. And I want to thank all of our volunteers, the Osher Foundation, the staff, Kathy and Ruth and Lois. This is a team effort. The Dean of the College of Continuing Studies, of course, our college, and the University of Alabama for continual resources and support of the program. We couldn't do it without them. But at this time, I'm going to quit talking and I would like to call on Francine Marasco, which is not part of the agenda. Sorry, everyone. But I would like for Francine, who is our historian, to give a special presentation.
Hello, everybody. I'm Francine, and I'm happy to be with you this afternoon. I'm also history. I've been around as long as Jennifer, Thelma, and Louise. Anyway, I'm going to circle back to Elizabeth and give just a little toast. So I want to begin by saying that Rocco Aversa was an active member of OLLI when Elizabeth decided to jump on board. We were thrilled since we had worked with her when she launched the Opera Guild at UA. We also knew of her administrative skills as director of the School of Library Science and Information Systems. If only we could get her to take a leadership role. We explained in detail how quickly her tenure would fly by, how easy it would be with the wonderful staff at the college and our volunteers to always lift her. Well, 28 months later, she is finally saying farewell to her presidency. Little did we dream of COVID-19. Little did we dream of overhauling the entire bylaws of OLLI. Little did we know that her 24 months would be extended to 28 months. Of course, she stood strong and captained our OLLI organization through the one constant we had, change. She handled it with dignity and grace and has left us a wonderful legacy. Strong leadership by a strong leader. If you have a glass or just an imaginary glass, raise it on high. A thank you toast to Elizabeth. Cheers to a successful presidency in extraordinary times. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Cheers.
Thank you
Cheers.
so much, Francine. And Francine, I think, we'll cancel the debt, because I was going to say you were going to owe me forever for getting me mixed up in this, but I'll cancel the debt now and we'll just move forward. So
Let's
thank
just
you
say
for
we'll
that.
be friends forever. That would be a great outcome.
I think so. So thank you so much, and thank you to everybody who's helped with this, because I'll tell you, OLLI is a team effort through and through. Thank you, Francine.
Thank you.
And to get back on schedule, I now will call on Doc Martin for the treasury report. Thank you, Francine.
Well, as Elizabeth so aptly put it, this is a year different from any other year, and that shows in our treasury report also. We've not had the income that we were anticipating from our endowments, but also our expenses were down because of online programming. All of that's to say that we look like we're gonna end the year maybe with about a $26,000 shortfall, but there's a possibility that we could get more money from our endowment. So we don't know exactly what it is, but I would say that with all of the interesting and exciting things that have happened throughout the year, that Jennifer and her staff done a wonderful job balancing the budget and keeping us afloat. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Dot. And I'll turn it back over to our MC, Elizabeth or Philip. Not sure which one's taking it on. I think Philip is.
Yeah, I think that's up to me now. Okay, thank you so much, Jennifer, for that report, and Francine for that wonderful tribute to Elizabeth. Appreciate it, and for the report, the financial report, Dot. I want to thank all of you for those. At this time, is there any old business? If you have any old business, please unmute yourself and speak at this time. Well, there being no old business, then is there any new business? Same procedure. If you have any new business to introduce, please unmute yourself and speak at this time. Okay. There's no new business. Well, I would like to end on one thing before we adjourn. First of all, I want to thank everyone for being here today. We really appreciate your presence at this event. And I want to say I look forward to seeing you again as our programs opens on our fall classes open on Monday. And also want to encourage you to talk to all of your friends who are not enjoying OLLI at this moment and let them know how much fun it is and how much they are missing by not joining this Zoom class. I know there's a lot of our members who've decided that Zoom is not for them. And, but so far, everyone that I've been able to convince to get on Zoom, they've stayed with us. They've enjoyed it. So I think it's just a matter of us convincing them that it is worthwhile for their lives, not for our lives, but for their lives to join in our Zoom meetings. So please, I'm asking you to talk to all of your friends who may have been Zoom members or been OLLI members before who don't want to Zoom. Tell them how much fun you're having and let them know. And to even those I've even recruited people outside the state. We've heard that story from several people, and I don't know the number of people, but I know we have members who are not living in our normal zones here that are watching Zoom online. Well, I don't have any other business to attend to, so for the good of the order, do we have a motion to adjourn? You can unmute yourself and make that motion.
So moved.
David Maxwell, thank you. Do I have a second?
Okay.
Second.
Great, thank you. We have a second from Charlotte Gattozzi. So with that, is there all in favor? Aye? Unmute yourself.
Aye.
Is there any opposed? No? Okay, we are adjourned. Please